Hello and welcome to WION Sports XTRA. We are back with another live session. I am Nikhil Mathur. I am joined by editor Digvijay Singh Deo and by my colleague Vidur Kathuria. Australia have finally shown some fight back and their spinners spun a web around the Indian batters and they were all out for 109. And the question that we are asking is, do we have a two-day test on our cards? Fire in your views. We'll take all your comments. Australia are 71 for 1. So was there something in the pitch or did the Indian batters didn't apply themselves?
It's the curse of the first session. If you just look at the way this series has panned out, Australia, both the test matches before this, sort of batting first and going out within 2 sessions, similar template being followed. Did the pitch have demons in it? If Australia have scored 71, that means they've applied themselves better. I think that break which happened, they've sort of gone back and revisited plans. And because I just saw the way the Australian bowlers bowled, the spinners, round the wicket and just probing those lines. KS Bharat, I thought, was looking very good. He knew when to attack, was sweeping the way you should sweep. But the way Virat Kohli got out, the way he got out, there was clearly a plan. I just think the Indians went hard too early. They could have the same thing which we were talking about Australia in that last test match, right? Just wait, see how the pitch plays. I think Rohit Sharma, that shot, he was anyway lucky to be there. But just that shot that he played off Kuhnemann in that first over, just wait, see. At that point of time, India had got off to a very good start. And once the bowler has his tail up, then it starts playing on your mind. What we were talking about yesterday about baseball. I mean, they sort of fell into that trap. Well, I think they started looking at what could happen. Even Pujara's ball, was it for him to go back and try and cut it so early in his innings? This one thing led to another. And then even Shreyas Iyer, even Jadeja being promoted up the order, you've been put up not to hit. You've been put up there to just try and keep one end up, right? But you went for your shot. Shreyas Iyer going for a shot, inside edging. So while the wicket was dodgy, and we will get to that, but I think the Indians also contributed to their demise with some really poor shot selection.
Yeah, I think you touched upon, it was a bit of everything. Australia did get their game plan right. I think they bowled very good lines. And India, especially Rohit Sharma, Shreyas Iyer, Jadeja, very soft dismissal. I mean, that shot, it was there to be hit just from the straight to the fielder. So they did get the rub of the green with Cheteshwar Pujara's wicket. That
ball spun from 5th wicket and it hit middle and leg.
Yeah, but it's too early to play that shot. For a player like Pujara, who likes to grind the opposition down, I think it's too early. But
I know, but it was...
You
can't. It was low pitching on the 5th stump and then hitting leg and middle.
It's very, very tough to blame him, for getting out. But coming back to the point, I think this is what we wanted to see. We were discussing yesterday some fight from the Australians, and we certainly have a match on the cards.
We spoke yesterday. No, I have the mic. We spoke yesterday about there being a contest.
Yeah.
But it's again become one-sided. There's no contest here.
We've only played 2 sessions, so I think it's very early to say if we will have, a humdinger as to say. But I think Australia have done very well. They're batting very well. And let's see how the match goes.
But also, Nikhil, don't you think that just looking across this series initially, it's always been that second and third session where the teams have got runs. That similar format, I don't know what has, usually how Indian pitches play, but the first session has been difficult for batting and against the spinners.
Yeah, and I will just want to bring in a fact that I was seeing the graphics that the broadcaster showed. In the first test, the average turn was somewhat around 2.4 degrees. In the second, it was 3.8, but today it was 4.8. And Rohit Sharma knew that it was a turning pitch. So I'm pretty sure I
just think he played the wrong shot.
Yeah,
I was watching Mr. Gavaskar on the commentary, and he said that he tried to hit across the spin. If he had probably tried to hit with the spin, then he would have connected.
But they thought that it's a rank turner, so were they trying to,
go after... in the 6th over when Kuhnemann came on, the ball wasn't turning that much. Even the ball which got Rohit, just go back, it pitches, he goes and misses the line altogether. It wasn't that prodigious spin which got Nathan Lyon. Pujara, I beg your pardon. He went and he tried to play and he missed and he was stumped. But he looked shaky from the beginning.
But it's exactly what Australia probably expected from the pitch. I mean, it's nothing. Of course, it's a rank turn, and I mean, it's not very different from the pitches that we have seen in the previous two tests.
No, the previous two tests, the pitches were better on the first day. They were not as bad as this.
I mean, yeah, because it was a rank turner, matlab, and the other two matches were the pitches were rated as average by ICC.
This is going to be.
This is poor. No, but what is a good pitch? Like the traditional one, like swing on the first 2 days or spin on the last. Like what is the definition of a good pitch?
I think you need to get a result. I thought in Indian conditions you would expect that first 1 hour the ball to do something. And then as the day progresses, sort of the batters come into the game. And then from the second day onwards, third day onwards, the sort of spinners take over. And then that's why batting fourth on an Indian pitch is considered a huge thing, right? I mean, because that ball can do anything, the foot marks are there and the spinners can exploit it.
Completely changes.
Yeah. But you look at the way the Indians have been bowling in this series, and that's one of been the hallmarks of why they are 2-0 up. It's not because they've been spinning the ball. They've been direct at the stumps.
Especially
Ashwin, yes, as you said, Jadeja has been wicket to wicket.
Exactly.
You miss, I hit. How many of Jadeja's wickets initially have been with balls which turned this much? No, right? He just bowled wicket to wicket. They try to sweep, they get out.
Exactly.
You were saying something?
No, I was saying about, I think, defining a good pitch is very difficult. I think.
Okay, one second. This isn't a good pitch. Are we in agreement?
Yeah. I am in agreement that the ball turning 4.5 degrees.
Not turning, also keeping low.
And keeping low, uneven
there was
down.
One
exactly.
Carry took one.
Yeah, and even when Mitchell Stark was bowling, one carried, one didn't. So this is, for me, it's a bad pitch.
It's a very dry pitch and this is not fit. Listen, I have seen pitches when India have gone in trying to defend the record at home against South Africa in Kanpur, which was a dodgy, a bad pitch. You are 2-0 up in the series. What are you scared about? The series is yours. At least, have some semblance of having a proper test match, and or because the arrogance that come what may, we'll go through.
It's more of complacency, I think.
And then when you won the toss, you bat, and then you completely lose the plot. Now you've handed the advantage to Australia. Even if they get a 70-80 run lead on this, the way these guys are batting, that's going to be massive.
Definitely.
No, I mean, it's definitely advantage Australia. I think the way the pitch has behaved, I think that there was a bit of overconfidence from the Indians. They just wanted to go at it and complete the whitewash. But it's certainly advantage Australia, and I think it will be very, very difficult for India to come back.
And we have to talk about Kunhiman, the left-arm spinner. He wasn't even part of the squad initially. Ashton Ega was their number 2. Then he was sent back home, and now then they called Kunhiman. And in fact, Kunhiman played against Sri Lanka in the T20, in the ODIs, but he wasn't retained. I mean, so there's something lacking in the management, but today he was just brilliant.
No, they got the selection spot on. I think Cameron Green becoming available opened up that spot for them. We need to talk about the selection also. Stark coming in, and listen, I know Pat Cummins is the captain, whatever, but in these conditions, I'm telling you, I just love that opening spell from Mitchell Stark. He was beautiful. I mean, Rohit, first one, obviously edge, very bad umpiring. Then there was one which he cut him in half. I mean, that ball was doing something on that pitch. And that's a canny bowler who knows not just how to exploit these conditions, but that's where the experience kicks in. You sort of know where to bowl and how to trouble the batters. With Cameron Green coming in, obviously Renshaw was in pretty bad form.
And this is not a 100% fit Stark. You have to remember that. But he's
definitely there was improvement when Pat Cummins was opening the bowling, and when today Mitchell Stark bowled.
Manoj Gupta, come here. We need to get him in.
Yeah, of course.
Let's get his frame. Manoj Gupta is our colleague here at WION. He is part of the news desk. He's a big fan of cricket, and he had said that next time you're doing a chat on cricket, call me. You were up in the morning watching that first session. India doing in Australia, am I right? Or am I being too nasty?
No, absolutely. India doing what Australia did. It was we thought that Australia will learn from Indians, but it was the other way around. The Indians actually did a harakiri. The pitch, there was no demands in the pitch. But the way you are playing, you need to give respect to the spinner. It's early on. Spend some time on the pitch, but you just want to come out and play. Rohit Sharma got stuck, so he just wanted to throw the ball out of the park, but that.
But you agree, we were talking about this before you joined, poor shot selection.
Absolutely, poor shot selection. It's your home pitch. You are born and brought up here. You know the pitch. You know the conditions. And before drinks, you are all back into the pavilion. That's not done. That's very disheartening.
Okay, I'm handing your mic back to you. Thank you, Manoj. We will get Manoj back as we keep these chats going. Yeah. So talking about this election, I think, what do you make of the non-contentious one, sort of Umesh coming in for Shami, who's been rested and actually been rested, not been dropped?
Yeah. I think let's talk about the other one first.
Venkatesh Prasad must be a happy man today. Even KL Rahul would be like.
I think just take him out of the firing line.
No.
He's too good a batter not to figure out. Sometimes you just need that break.
You need that break.
And I mean, obviously, we spoke about this before. Shubman Gill deserves his chance. Today also, I mean...
Why did he look good?
Yeah, he did.
Some of those, that
did.
drive he hit off Cameron Green.
Yeah.
That met it. Oh.
Yeah, and he didn't even... He got out to a good ball. It wasn't even
he went to the drive
short selection. I think Shami...
Workload management.
Yeah, he needs some rest. And Umesh Yadav has had a very good...
Vidur, with Bumrah now all set to be out of even the World Test Championship.
Yeah.
Now, that's
It's a doubt.
He's
a doubt.
That the Indian selectors and, I mean, BCCI and whatever are planning ahead.
Yeah.
That there's no Bumrah going to be there at the World Test Championship final. India almost on the verge of being there, right?
Yeah. And also Umesh Yadav has been a decent bowler in Indian conditions.
He's got the best ball among all players.
And he's always warming the benches. So it's good to see him in the mix, get him some game under his
these
belt.
kind of wickets, he does very well. He sort of gets that ball
to come
in
India.
Reverse swing and all that. He's not exactly very accurate, but he can do stuff.
He has pace. He can trouble the Australian batters. So yeah.
But Shubha, I think unfortunate for him, didn't get a bad wicket to bat on, but I just think that now he deserves a longer.
He just has unbelievable quality. I mean, you would love to just watch him play, and I think he'll do something in the second innings. Hopefully, get a big score and keep his place in the side.
Yeah, and I just want to give an example of how England treated Harry Brook. He did well in the T20s against Pakistan, then ODI, and then in Test team he's flourishing. So I'm pretty sure Shubman has also done well in the limited overs cricket and Test. If given a longer run, I think he had the potential to fill that opening slot.
Yeah, and he's been there. It's not like he's not been there. I mean, that's what you're seeing. I think the reason people were angry was because he was in form and you were persisting with a batter who has... Nobody's denying KL Rahul doesn't have talent. He's scored centuries everywhere. Yeah. But he's going through a bad patch. Why persist with him when you have someone sitting in the dressing room who's not just blessed with prodigious talent, but who's actually in very good form?
Yeah.
Also, what do you think would be a safe score for Australia, like a lead that would put them
on this pitch? You don't know what's going to happen, but the way they were batting, if they don't get a lead of anything above 150, they will be kicking themselves in the foot. And we need to talk about the captaincy of Stephen Smith.
Yeah.
I just think that, he's such an experienced cricketer. He's been captain, then we know what happened with the ball tackling kind of all. But he got his bowling changes spot on. You would think on a wicket like this, why not Todd Murphy, who troubled the Indian batters in that first test, or Lyon, who's the more experienced. But the fact that he got Kuhneman in, and India were off to a great start. Let's be fair. 26 for no loss in 5 overs isn't a bad start by any means.
Absolutely.
However shaky Rohit Sharma was, we got off to a decent start. You win the toss and say 5 overs, 26 for no loss, I'll take it. You'll take it in a one-day game.
Yeah.
He got it spot on, and I just think even the one, he got his reviews very bad in the first over, but even the other one, I think KS Bharat, the one when he came and said, let's take the review, because he was convinced that round the wicket, ball's going to hit leg stump at least. And he got it right.
In-game captaincy, which is very, very important in a test match.
And did you hear what Mr. Gavaskar said? He was talking to Matthew Hayden and he said that he's obviously going for why batters make good captains. He said as a batter, you're batting and on a wicket like this, which bowler I don't want to face. It's a very good point. Usually it's very few bowlers are captains. Usually it's loaded in front of the batters and then the all-rounders. But very important point by Mr. Gavaskar. No wonder. One of the greatest of all time.
Let's also talk about the Indian middle order. So Todd Murphy is 3-0 up against Virat Kohli. He got him.
he played straight through that innings. I just that stretch when he and Bharat were playing, I just thought that
They could take away the game.
No, not take away the game. I just thought they absorbed the pressure well, and they looked at ease. While the others were sort of jumpy. Anyone else jumping in today? No. They looked very much at ease, and then that shot which was trying to play against the turn. I think Bharat used it very well. He sort of, the shots he hit, that 6 which he hit, he used the turn and hit with the turn.
Yeah.
But a middle order has been a problem for India. I remember in the second test also, it was when Ashwin, Akshar and Jadeja, they kind of bailed India out.
But India in the series, your 7 and 8 have got more runs than everyone else.
So the middle order like Kohli is kind of back into his form, and Pujara is also there, but they haven't like fired as a unit, the middle order.
Yeah.
And since we have 3 great bowling all-rounders, in test they are proper all-rounders, they have bailed India out a lot of times, but today it wasn't the case. And
that's the law of averages, right?
Yeah,
At some point it's going to come back and hit you.
I remember maybe it was 2 years back, 1 or 2 years back, we were complaining about the fact that our tail does not make any runs at all, and that proves to be the difference in test matches.
Yeah. As it Australia.
Yes.
That series,
Yeah.
the Pant Gabba, that series, when after the 36, that's when it started, right? That fight back in Sydney, and when they held on for that draw.
Yeah. Ashwin and
Ashwin, and there was
Hanuma Vihari. That was
Washington
there.
Sundar,
Yeah, exactly.
Shardul also.
Yes.
Shardul Thakur.
That was an exceptional series. I don't think we'll see anything like that again.
Okay, I'm going to turn it around. What for you is, okay, India clearly on the back foot.
Yeah.
But they've been in situations like this in the series before, when they've sort of, Australia have also edged ahead. It's a matter of winning sessions.
Yeah.
Do you think India still have a chance in this? Or it all depends on the lead? What if Australia get a 150 lead? That's, I think we're in agreement, that's game over, right? That sends them through to the World Test final.
Advantage Australia, definitely. 150 is a big score.
No, England were not safe with 230 odd, but different wicket.
I think
150
well, it's definitely advantage Australia. I think India in home conditions, you can never ever count them out, especially after the first innings. Let's see how the pitch behaves on the second and third day. It will be.
Will we get there? The question is, will we get to a third?
Yeah, that's also a discussion that Nikhil and I were having before the chat, that how long will the test match last. The previous 2, of course, finished in 3 days. This could finish in 2. So, but Australia have got.
Right?
But
it's happened in Australia.
it's happened in
Yeah.
India.
No,
Remember
in India,
that?
yeah, the Bangladesh test. and all
England
that stuff.
test,
Yeah, yeah.
India-England test, the day-night one. That was over in less than 2 days.
Yeah,
Like,
I think that we should leave the day-night ones.
yeah.
But no, I've seen India winning test matches in 2 days. It's happened in the last 12 months also.
No, but I think if Labuschagne and Smith, if they get in the groove, they can clearly take the match over. 150 even, they can give a 250 lead to India. And as Vidur has been predicting, that Smith will hit a century. So is today the day that Smith hits a century as a captain?
Could be.
Questions.
Yeah.
Rohan Shukla. Thank you, Rohan, for this. R. Ashwin had once said that pitches favouring bowlers should not be dismissed as bad. Do you think the batsmen should up their game? Yes, fair enough. I think just before I get you in, the fact that India won those first 2 test matches when the wicket wasn't exactly the greatest, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
You had to apply yourselves. India applied themselves. They won those 2 test matches. Clearly, the batters didn't apply themselves. And as we said, they looked complacent.
The Indian batters.
Indian batters, yes.
So the answer is there in the day's play today. Indian batters did not apply themselves. Australian bowlers did get a bit of the rub of the green. But as you can see, what we were asking from Australia, show some fight in batting. And that's what they've done.
The next question. Steve McNanny, if the pitch was that bad, how are the Australian players still batting for the loss of just 1 wicket? I think we addressed this when we said that they've applied themselves well. I think the Indian batters were very complacent. They tried to just sort of, they tried to do what Australia did in that second innings in Delhi, try to force the pace and go for shots without gauging the true nature of the wicket. Because how many of them actually got out to great balls? Okay, Pujara,
Definitely.
Shreyas Iyer played on, Virat against the turn, Bharat, great piece of review by Stephen Smith. Again, just a forward defense, and he looked very good. I thought that wouldn't turn.
Yeah.
But he's right. How many wickets, when you talk about bad pitches, how many wickets actually fell to a really bad ball which went all over the place?
Yeah, in fact, Stark bowled some beautiful balls which didn't get a wicket.
Yeah.
But
Poor batting. I think we're all in agreement with that. Very poor batting. complacent, and as I said, so 7 days Australia have sort of worked on their basics. They've sort of shown that fight which they are known for.
Yeah.
And I think
Maybe they
We
needed,
just-
as we touched
needed-
upon it, they needed like a
as
break.
Ravi Shastri says, a kick up the backside.
But I still think it's a bad pitch. I still think first day, 4.5-degree turn, uneven bounce. For me, that's a bad pitch.
But doesn't it? Both teams have to bat, right? And this is what we've been saying all through the series. India also batted on those pitches when they won those first 2 tests. And the way Australia are batting right now, you would expect India to bat like this on the first day, second or third session of a test match.
I agree with both the points. Like India batters didn't apply themselves, but it's still, I would uneven bounce on first day.
Bad pitch.
Yeah.
Bad pitch, but Australia applied themselves.
Applied
much
themselves,
more.
yeah.
And India was just all over the place. We need to talk about what we're doing at 6:30.
Yes. So we have cricket. We have a detailed report on this, and United fans have ended their 6-year trophy wait, but they need to still wait for a ownership change because that is not happening
There are 6
anytime soon.
players who are not coming to an agreement as to how much money they actually want. That's also something we're going to look at. We're looking at basketball, the Bucks. No
Yes.
stopping the Bucks. What's it? 14 in a row? And how?
I think-
15.
Yeah.
How
And
big is it in the NBA?
oh well,
It's a very close league.
Yeah. So when you go for that sort of run, especially this is March now, we've entered March, so this is just before the playoffs. The playoffs will start in April. So and Bucks are obviously one of the Eastern Conference title contenders, and they could also be NBA title contenders. They won the league in 2021. They obviously have one of the best players in the world in Giannis Antetokounmpo, and they are. I don't think anyone can stop them in the Eastern Conference as of now. So they should reach the NBA Finals this season. And as I said, just going into April, into those playoffs, huge run for them.
And we forgot tennis. Big tennis chunk. Djokovic pushed on his return after winning that Australian Open, a bit rusty. He also had that hamstring tear, but he's safely through in Dubai. But his great rival, Rafael Nadal, will not be playing the Sunshine Double, and Alcaraz and Norrie both out.
And Nadal will be out of top 10
Yes.
later this month for the
First time since 2005, one of the greatest runs in tennis. Yeah. So plenty of action coming up on WION Sports. I'll be fronting it. These are the 2 gentlemen who helped that bulletin getting prepared. So any errors on screen, my fault. Any errors in spellings and all, please take. Thank you for watching.